Hello, YouTube subscribers. Today or tonight, whenever you're watching this, I am doing another Disney movie review, and basically the last Disney movie review I am going to do for this week. As you guys may know, if you guys been following my Descendants reviews, it's been building up to the fourth movie that The Rise of Red, which just dropped today on Disney Plus, and then later on in August, which is next month, it's gonna be on TV. I just watched it, and um, I am honestly, I did not. Shit. I am a big Descendants fan. I love the characters Aladdin, Peter Pan, but not really Peter Pan character himself, more of Captain Hook than Peter Pan. I like Aladdin, Jafar, almost every Disney character that Disney ever brought out. Now, it's really hard now these days for me to like a new Disney character that may be in the Prince collection or not really in that category, but oh shit. And for me and my sister to be a big Descendants fans, as we are, ah, shit. My sister liked it, but I also know she has her issues with it. Which I should have asked her for that, what her issues was. So, but mine right off the bat. Did I like? Okay, as a big Descendants fan as I am, did I completely hate it? No. No, I did not. I did not completely hate it. Was I a bit of annoyed at times? Just a little bit. Did I not fully like it? No, obviously not. But, uh, my positives are basically, before I get into my positives and negatives, the story plot for Descendants for The Rise of Red is basically we we um we get introduced to the apparently all the villains except one villain kid. um all the villains and all the VKs was on the Isle of the Lost, but except one villain and one VK, and that was the Queen of Hearts and Red herself, which is the daughter of Queen of Hearts. Because they Belle, Beast, and everyone in the kingdom thought it'd be best to board up, hide away the rabbit hole to Wonderland, and Wonderland would be the most perfect prison to keep the Queen of Hearts and her daughter in. Which it's true. I mean, don't get me wrong. Wonderland is a wonderful place. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It can be fun, but it ultimately can be a prison if you allow it to be or not. And I guess that's also the beauty of Wonderland. So it's basically a ultimate hell, and which okay, I will give that's great. And Uma, which because as it was narrated by Uma instead of Mel this time, because the actress, the original original three cast members did not want to come back for Descendants 4, which is understandable because the fourth member of the original 4VKs passed away, and it was hard for them to even do a cartoon Descendants short movie, even though they were doing it for him, but it was still hard on them to exactly do that. But as it got narrated by Uma in the beginning, that basically Mel, Ben, Jay, and Evie went sailing away to have a adventure beyond Oridon and the rest of the kingdoms to find other kingdoms, and left Uma in charge to be the principal of Oridon. And Uma's first order as principal is to invite the daughter of Queen of Hearts, Red. And then Red, basically looking at it to a certain point of view, it's helping the Descendants universe to be its own, still be like its standalone own thing, with legacy characters from classic Disney movies, but this one is also taking bits and pieces. I will say taking bits and pieces from the first movie, like instead of Ben making the first order of like being king / principal, it was Uma bringing Red to Oridon. But the one thing that you basically go through the movie, or at least the beginning part of the movie, is that you automatically know Red does not want to be like her mom. She knows that for sure, and she clearly doesn't like her mom. She feels like she'd be better without her. And she rebels against her mom, obviously. So, and her friend, which turns out to be the son of the Mad Hatter, because obviously Mad Hatter had a son. I'm guessing it was with Alice. Alice I'm thinking would be the mom of the Mad Hatter. Would be the girlfriend / wife to the Mad Hatter, and the mother to the Mad Hatter's son. But other than that, that's Red's friend is the Mad Hatter's son. And he, at least, I could see there's a spark in his eyes that he wants to be more towards her than just a friend, but I think he doesn't mind staying in the friend zone either. But he gives, like all friends, they give each other hope, they boost them up, and he introduces to her after he saves her from destroying bits and parts of her mother's kingdom, he shows her after, and also after cheering her up about hopefully that your mom would understand that your mom actually does love you. There was a time that your mom wasn't so evil and so black-hearted. Um, he shows her a invention that he was working on, and that he also told her he hasn't tested it out yet, but he's really excited about it. And it's basically, it looks like he took the White Rabbit pocket watch and he turned it into a time machine. Now, I'm guessing it would be the White Rabbits, because in the original classic cartoon of Alice in Wonderland, which I haven't watched for a really long time, the only one I remember that carried around a big, clunky pocket watch was the White Rabbit. I don't really know about the Mad Hatter, because all I remember was the tea party scene. So, but once Red gets the the invite letter to go to Oregon, her and her mom goes to the opening meeting of the whole first Red's first year at Oregon, and basically, yeah, after that, it goes to shit. Because, but before then, we also get introduced to Cinderella and Prince Charming, which is now Queen Cinderella and King Charming, daughter, which now sitting down and watching the movie, I'm not so hesitant on saying there could be a possibility Chad could be their biological son, because when I was first hearing the rumors and the confirmance that basically, yes, Cinderella will be black and Prince Charming will be this, which I did like, which after I heard that them both originally played Cinderella and Prince Charming, I like how Disney brought them back. And which it made me start thinking, okay, maybe Chad isn't really Cinderella and Prince Charming's son. Maybe he's Dizzy's cousin. That he's not the son of Lady Tremaine, but Lady Tremaine's sister's son. But now sitting down, watching the movie, it actually does make me change my mind on that theory. And I mean, it would still be a pretty good theory to throw back into Chad's face. Hey, you're a villain, kid, and yet in the beginning you hated basically your own type of people. But I do see how Chad could be this Cinderella and this Prince Charming son, biological son. So, but anyway, we get introduced to Queen Cinderella and King Charming's daughter, which then which we find out when they go to the first day of Oregon, well, basically, Queen Cinderella's daughter and Red's first year at Oregon, that basically Queen Cinderella and Queen of Hearts, we get a scene where they both talk and we can feel kind of that hatred-loving vibe between each other. And we get to find out that, yes, they both used to be friends in the past, that basically, once again, small conversation that Queen of Hearts used to be nice, loving, ended the conversation for the movie to go even further. and then and then after Uma announces that after Uma re-sings "What's My Name" from the second movie of Descendants, that she basically announced to everyone that yes, say hello to your principal of Oridon, yada yada yada. That's when Red, the Queen of Hearts, starts playing with her cards and throw them up, and the cards turn into like most of her soldiers, blocks the doorway and becomes the doors. Uh, and she basically takes over Oridon. And through that rest of the part, we see Red go from where she already knew that she didn't want to be evil in the beginning to struggling with that issue now. That she is now struggling for some reason, even though she already knew for sure she did not want to be evil. Now she's struggling that she wants to please her mom, basically, just like Mel in the first movie. And then also through the rest of the movie, from that moment to the all the way up to the ending, and honestly the ending. But before Red left Mad Hatter's son's lair, which his son's lair is in Queen of Hearts Castle. She stole his pocket watch, which then she after Queen of Hearts had her daughter Red to basically instead of Queen Cinderella backing down, kneeling to Queen of Hearts, she had her daughter. She had Red basically tell Queen Cinderella what's her what is she basically what's gonna be her end, her doom, and is it gonna be just life in prison, or is it gonna be off with her head? And basically it's off with her head. Treason. She said treason, which is, and then that's when Queen of Hearts turn around and say off with her head, which doesn't really show her head be taken off, but it does show later on in the movie that Red, when they look through the looking glass, because when Queen of Hearts hand her daughter a small glass flip up mirror case that's shape of a heart, it's she tell her it's the looking glass, it can show you the future. And basically when we see that, we see the Red Queen throwing, showing King Charming his wife's glass slippers, and she right in front of him, showing him that basically, yeah, she's now dead, and now he's a widow, and yeah, now he's a prisoner. So and she throws the glass slippers right in front of him, and they break into pieces. While she's watching him crying and saying no. More further than that, once they get into the past, that's where this movie kind of changes things from the classic movies to basically having it set in its own universe. In a way, that basically you got the parents, the VKs that we see, their parents, apparently they're VKs as well to their evil parents, and they just actually lived up to their parents' evilness, which we get introduced by a young Hades, which I do like who they choose to play young Hades, even though we don't see much of him. And I just feel like seeing the guy that played the older Hades by choosing a young actor that looks kind of similar to older Hades. So I did like that, and I did like his performance as we see him play as Hades. I did like his performance. The actress they chose to play young Maleficent, we didn't see really much of her, like, act in her own way, but, like, as we kind of did with Hades and Captain Hook. But I did like the young actress they choose to play Maleficent in the past. Also, we got to see Morgana's son, which now knowing why they threw in Morgana's son is understandable. But young Captain Hook, I really like who they choose as young Captain Hook, because looking off the actor that played his son, they did a really good job kind of doing the bone gesture and stuff like that, the mannerisms, but which it was also shown in the past before the school was named Oridon. It was originally called Merlin's Academy or something like that. Merlin something. And that Merlin was the principal. He was the one that opened up the school for everybody. We saw a young fairy godmother. And instead of seeing a young Ursula, we saw a young version of Ursula's sister. That basically Ursula was somewhere somewhere else, but we saw her younger sister with Maleficent, Hades, Captain Hook, and Morgana. And since basically we saw the school was named Merlin, and that the principal was Merlin, I could tell that basically Morgana, which in King Arthur lore Morgana is actually King Arthur's sister in the actual lore of King Arthur / his wife, but also his enemy. So seeing her son in this with the group was actually really cool, and how basically this one was kind of going off from kind of bringing characters from the Sword and the Stone classic Disney movie, from Merlin to like Morgana's son. Which Morgana's son was really stupid. I hate. That's one of my negatives. I hate how he was in the movie. It just agitated me. I expected a lot more higher. The graphics was better in this movie. I will say that jumping from 1 to 2 to 2 to 3, how each of the graphics got better in each movie. The graphics was a lot like movie quality better in this one. Just a little bit. But and then also the story plot was on the side of on the side of changing the future, from saving Cinderella from Queen of Hearts in the future, is also to change Queen of Hearts herself. And did they exactly do that? They did, with no problem at all. No consequences, or at least the way when the movie ended, they basically stopped the main bad guys that wasn't really that threatening, and which is like Hades, Maleficent, um, Uma's, not Uma's, Ursula's little sister, Morgana, and Captain Hook, um, and for before they could do a prank on the queen, on a younger version of Queen of Hearts, because I guess something happened in the past that they didn't really show us at all what actually turned her evil, because clearly there was an accident that happened, and that turned the Queen of Hearts from sweet and kind to pure cold-hearted ice evil. Which in the beginning it did look like it was hinting towards Cinderella actually made that happen, not someone evil, but Cinderella herself, when that wasn't really true at all. Even though there was some hints when they did go back in the past that basically younger Cinderella did hate at times, like got annoyed by a younger Queen of Hearts. So, but once the movie got closer to the end, which it didn't really feel like the end, it at moments, and then once it got more closer and closer, it did actually start feeling like the ending. They went back to the future. And it showed that her mom was playing with her cards, and instead of still showing us that her mom is still evil, no, plot twist. Her mom is now good. The villains did not do their trick. They didn't have to go back in time, and the movie was over before we would actually liked it. And Red's mom, Queen of Hearts, was now sweet, kind, like she was in the past. No longer war soldiers. It's basically bubble hearts. When after she threw up her cards, which I thought Cinderella was going to be the evil one that makes the move. No, I was completely wrong, and Cinderella was still sweet and kind and shit. But as I did say this morning when this morning when I did my Descendants 3 video review, I have a feeling that Disney would, and not just Disney themselves, but also the director / writer of Descendants, would find a way to do a new Descendants trilogy. And basically he did exactly just that, with where he basically ended one chapter with the original 4 and the ones that we saw on the side of and the original trilogy of Descendants. We're about to get a new trilogy of a new group of Descendants with Red, Cinderella's daughter, and more VKs, and probably more time travel, because there are consequences. Because the way how they ended the movie was, yes, they did change the past. They did succeed what they wanted to do. But with time, when you mess with time travel, as the way they basically had it end is another narration by narration. Basically, Uma talking at the end, narrating. There we go. Narrating like she did in the beginning of the movie, but now, like she did at the end of the second Descendants, she's narrating at the end of this one, as they messed with time and succeeded doing what they wanted to get done. That basically, once you mess with time, time bounces back and will try and find a way to bounce back, put things back where it might needed to be, or something like that, and and um and and after that, well, not just having that to be the closing opening line to leave the movie open. No, the director slash writer threw this in there to made it definitely second leave round confirmed that there will be a second one, that there will be a trilogy, a new trilogy of Descendants movies. You didn't think this was the end of the story, did you? Like the original two movies and the original trilogy, since this is the same director and writer doing this, I'm guessing is going to be a trilogy. And instead of ending it with the whole opening line, mess with time travel, time will mess back line, he also brought back the classic line he threw in the original two movies, instead of so yeah. Drop a comments down below if you saw Descendants 4 The Rise of Red. What did you guys think of it? Did you really enjoyed it completely and didn't really have any negatives about it, or did you guys hate it completely, or did you guys were like, yeah, sure, there was too much music? To me, it was too much of a big, long musical video number, and not really much movie time like the original trilogy was. That's one of my negatives that I almost forgot to throw out. But is that one of your negatives as well, where it's basically one long musical video with a bunch of songs in it? Or did you guys completely like it? Did you guys completely hated it? Was it for you? Was it like, when I mean was it like in the middle for you guys? What's your favorite Disney movie, classic to new, anything? Just drop it in the comments down below. Your opinions or whatever. If you're a newcomer just dropping by randomly by one of my videos, please hit that subscribe I can't even say it again. Subscribe button, because I welcome all new and old subscribers with open arms. If you're a old subscriber, a original subscriber, welcome back. I appreciate you guys keep coming back to every single of my videos, or some of the videos you guys are able to get to and watch. If you liked this video, hit that like button. If you didn't like this video, hit that dislike button. I appreciate your guys' true honesty. Have a nice day, have a nice night whenever you're watching this. Peace.